How's it going, guys? So today we're going to run through Halls of Valor, which is a dungeon in Stormheim that requires level 98. I'm a level 110 Fury Warrior with an item level of 780. I got here after they cleared the first trash, so we'll get right to the first boss, which is Himdall. Bloodletting Sweeps is a cone attack that does physical damage and also reduces healing received by 25%, so take him facing away from the group. He also does an attack called Dancing Blade, where he throws a blade at a random player and leaves a spinning sword there that does AoE damage to anyone touching it. Lastly, Himdall uses Horn of Valor. This calls in a Storm Drake, which puts a static field on the ground, which causes ticking damage while you stand in it. It's a very large area, so try to see the Drake early before it's cast. Rather than killing him, the fight ends when he's near death. The second boss is Herja. The main mechanic of this fight is switching between the two minions that are empowering her. In this fight, you'll see she was tanked in the middle the whole fight, letting her be empowered by both minions the whole time. We got away with it on normal, but on other difficulties this will not be as forgiving. The Thunder empowerment given by Solstin allows her to cast Eye of the Storm and Arcing Bolt. Eye of the Storm is an AoE attack that can be avoided by standing in the bubble that she creates. Arcing Bolt casts a lightning bolt that jumps between characters, causing nature damage. Every 4 seconds that she's empowered by Solstin, her damage is increased by 10% with those two attacks. Holy Empowerment gives her Sanctify, which casts Holy Light from her, causing holy damage. Melee DPS must move away from this as it can't really be avoided in melee range. She can also cast Expel Light, which casts a circle around a character, causing damage to all players in that circle after 3 seconds. While having this empowerment, her damage is increased by 10% every 4 seconds with these attacks. On top of that, she also has her own knockback ability called Shield of Light. It would be best to switch back and forth between the minions while waiting for the buffs to drop off to reduce the damage and give her only a few attacks. The third boss is Fenrir. Don't be misled by the map, which said the boss is in his den. He actually starts at a random location in the Field of Eternal Hunt, so you'll need to do some searching to find his location. Once you get closer, footprints will start to appear on the ground, which will lead you to him. He will stay at that location until you get him to around 60%, then the fight will stop and he'll retreat to his den. You must go to the den to finish the rest of the fight. Claw Frenzy is an AoE attack that splits its damage between everyone within 12 yards, so melee will split the damage with the tanks. Unnerving Howl interrupts all casts for 3 seconds. Ravenous Leap causes him to leap to random players marked by this attack, and also damage everyone within 10 yards of the target, so be sure to spread out during this. Lastly, Son of Blood will cause the boss to fixate on the target for 6 seconds, and increases damage by 50% for every 2 seconds, so keep your distance if you are the target. The fourth boss is God King Skovald. At the beginning of the fight, someone will pick up the Aegis of Agomar, which is given to you by Odin. The shield creates a barrier that absorbs all damage for 12 seconds. This is important because of the attack Ragnarok. It is an AoE attack that will kill you if you are caught outside of the barrier, which is how I died at the start of this fight. Fellblaze Rush will cause him to charge at a random player that also damages everyone within 10 yards of the target. Skovald will steal the Aegis of Agomar back and put fire on the ground. You'll need to run behind the shield to damage him. Throughout the fight, the shield will switch between the group and the boss. Lastly, Savage Blade is an attack on the tank with high melee damage. If active mitigation isn't used during the attack, it will also give the tank a debuff that gives ticking damage for 20 seconds. Odin is the final boss of this dungeon. It may be the most fun fight of the early Legion dungeons. The fight is complete when the boss reaches 80%. There are several runes in a circle around the room. When a player is marked with Runic Brand, a rune will appear over their head. The brand causes ticking damage for 12 seconds. You must find the rune in the room that matches the one over your head. If you stand on that rune before the 12 seconds is up, you'll gain a buff called Branded. This buff increases damage and healing by 50% and movement speed by 25%. It will also bring your health back to full. Spear of Light sticks a spear out of the ground in a player's location, causing damage to everyone within 8 yards. Once several spears are in play, he will cast Shatter Spear, which causes the spears to shoot out 3 orbs in all directions, which cause holy damage and stun anyone who is hit by them. The last major attack is Radiant Tempest. He emits a pulse of energy that hits everyone within 30 yards, most likely killing you. If you survive it, you will be knocked back. I hope you enjoyed this guide to Halls of Valor. Check out my other videos of dungeons and raids as they become available through the Legion beta. Thanks for watching.